There's a quiet revolution happening beneath your feet, and most people never notice it. Long before chemical fertilizers existed, farmers, herbalists, and land stewards relied on living plants to restore exhausted soil, season after season. These weren't just crops, they were tools, carefully chosen and deeply understood. Today, that ancient wisdom is making a powerful comeback, and for good reason. If your soil feels lifeless, if your harvests are shrinking, or if you're tired of spending money on fertilizers that only offer short-term results, then this is where your transformation begins. Because the truth is simple, the healthiest soil isn't fed, it's built, and the builders are alive. Before we dig deeper, take a moment to support the channel. Like this video, share it with someone who loves gardening or sustainable living, drop a comment with your experience, and subscribe to Nature's Flora for more timeless, practical knowledge that actually works. Now, let's get into the real work, 7 powerful plants that don't just grow in your garden, but actively rebuild it. Legumes have been trusted for thousands of years, from traditional African farming systems to early Asian agriculture. Plants like beans, peas, lentils, and soybeans partner with specialized soil bacteria to capture nitrogen from the air and convert it into a usable form in the soil. This process turns them into living fertilizer factories. What makes legumes exceptional is that they don't just feed themselves, they leave behind nitrogen for the next crop. When their roots break down, they release stored nutrients directly into the soil. Farmers historically rotated legumes with heavy feeders like maize for this exact reason. You can apply the same principle today by planting legumes after nutrient-hungry crops to naturally restore balance. Clover and vetch were staples in traditional European and Middle Eastern farming systems, often grown not for harvest, but for healing the land. These plants act as living mulch, covering bare soil, preventing erosion and continuously enriching it. When cut and left on the surface, they decompose into rich organic matter that feeds soil life. This layer improves moisture retention and creates a steady release of nutrients. Their flowers also attract pollinators and beneficial insects, making your garden not just productive, but ecologically balanced. Farmers once relied on these plants to prepare fields for future planting seasons, and that method still holds its value today. Comfrey has long been called the plant doctor in traditional herbal systems, but its role in soil health is just as powerful. Its deep roots reach far below the surface, pulling up minerals that most plants can never access. These nutrients accumulate in its leaves, which can be harvested multiple times a season. When those leaves are used as mulch or compost, they return valuable minerals like potassium and calcium to the topsoil. This method has been used for generations as a way to recycle nutrients naturally. Comfrey grows vigorously and works tirelessly, making it one of the most efficient soil builders you can introduce. Buckwheat may not have the long history of some other plants, but it quickly earned its place in traditional farming due to its speed and effectiveness. In just a few weeks, it can cover bare soil, suppress weeds, and begin improving soil structure. Its real strength lies in unlocking phosphorus, a nutrient often trapped in the soil. Buckwheat makes it available to other plants, preparing the ground for future crops. Its shallow roots loosen the topsoil while its flowers attract beneficial insects. Farmers often used it between planting cycles to keep the land active and productive instead of letting it sit idle. Often misunderstood and removed, the dandelion has quietly served as a natural soil engineer for centuries. Its deep taproot breaks through compacted soil, improving air and water movement. As it grows, it draws minerals upward and stores them in its leaves. When those leaves decompose, they enrich the top layer of soil. In traditional land management, plants like dandelion were indicators, signs that soil needed healing. Instead of removing them entirely, experienced growers would use them as part of the restoration process. Alfalfa has been used for generations as both animal feed and soil conditioner. Its roots reach deep into the earth, creating pathways for water and air while pulling nutrients to the surface. What sets alfalfa apart is its long-term impact. It continues improving soil for years, building organic matter and supporting beneficial microbes. It also releases natural compounds that can help reduce soil-borne problems, making it a powerful ally in maintaining healthy growing conditions. Traditional farmers often dedicated entire seasons to growing alfalfa just to restore soil vitality. The real power of these plants comes when they are used together. Ancient farming systems rarely relied on a single crop. Instead, they combined species to create balance, some fixing nitrogen, others mining minerals, and others protecting the soil surface. You can follow the same approach by rotating these plants through your garden or even mixing them within the same space. Over time, the soil becomes softer, richer, and more alive. The need for synthetic fertilizers fades because the system begins to sustain itself. Healthy soil isn't created overnight, but every season you invest in these plants moves you closer to a self-sustaining garden. This is how land was cared for long before modern inputs existed, and it remains one of the most reliable methods today. If you're ready to transform your soil naturally, start with one or two of these plants and build from there. Pay attention to how your soil responds, and let nature guide the process. And if you found this guide valuable, make sure to subscribe to Nature's Flora. Share this with someone who needs it, and leave a comment about which soil-building plant you're excited to try.